99797 or toll free at 866-455-9797.
Have no door somehow, and never once got lonely.
You're listening to Allman in the Morning, Common Sense Radio.
I know one thing you won't find.
See, the fact is more
You won't find Kevin Muret's kids in their underwear with a bongo drum popping into a department store.
No more buying stuff! No more buying stuff! Love! Transfer of energy!
Yeah.
Let's go in Forever 21.
Yeah. Kevin, I said, why don't you go into Cabela's?
Oh, yeah.
And do that.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
Instead of Forever 21.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy is a stud, Kevin Muret, and is with Mantality Health. I've been talking about this for a couple years now. LowTUSA.com is your direct path to being that guy you want to be. Virility, vitality, energy, getting to the gym, belly fat, gone. And it's been going back gangbusters, right, buddy?
Oh, it's been great. You know, most of us had a ton of energy in our 20s and 30s. Hell, we almost killed ourselves, right, with how hard we partied and worked and all that. But now that we're smart and we know so much more, isn't now the time when we need that energy?
Yeah.
You know, Denise and I were just talking about summer times here, and we're trying to. It's amazing how much the kids put demands on us now.
Yeah,
right?
oh, yeah.
Yeah, like we're the entertainment directors. Now is the time when you have that energy. And that's one of the things, like what I do with the ice cream truck, is this. I've got 6 kids, but in 3 years, I'm only going to have 1 left at home. So the chapter of the kind of dad I am going to be is being written right now.
Right.
To have the energy and the time and to really dig in 3 or 4 years from now is too late.
Right.
It's like missing a great investment and telling the story of, wow, if I would have only invested 10 years ago. So
right on.
Most guys right now that are tired and wiped and their job's taking everything from them, now is when they need that engagement. Now is when their dinner table is looking at them for that leadership. And that's why I do this.
Well, you're not eligible for for the Super Dad competition. You should be. But you're kind of apart from the rest. But you do have the Super Dad competition going on right now.
Yes, and what we're looking for is, you and myself, we're fortunate enough to be able to be on the air and have our own platforms. But there are a lot of guys out there that are quiet in their cubicles or in the fire stations. They're doing things every day and are unsung. Those are the guys I want nominated. These are guys that would never pat themselves in the back, but they are the backbone. They're the infrastructure that we all stand on. So those are the guys I want to have nominated by their wives, by their moms, by their sisters, the guys that steadily are coaching their kids and they're there every day for them. We all count on them even though we don't see them. Those are the guys I want nominated.
So go on the website, lowtusa.com. It's from Mantality Health, lowtusa.com, and go ahead and just put your dad in, put your husband in, whatever you want to do.
Absolutely. And then the winner is going to be announced on Father's Day, and they're going to get $1,000 worth of prizes, which is going to be very specific to whatever they want. They can customize it. Hey, I want $300 of barbecue.
Really?
$500. Absolutely. These guys deserve whatever we can give them. So we're going to let them customize it. And then the charity of their choice, I'm going to personally donate $500 to because these guys give to us in so many ways. I'd love to give in their name to somewhere they have a heart for.
That's great. And then we were talking off the air about how you wanted to kind of maybe push this national at some point because it really is a great thing. And dads, sometimes it's not always, they are indeed the quiet ones and don't get a lot of the attention sometimes. And I'm glad you help them out, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm proud to do it. I really appreciate it.
Well, and you guys hear Kevin and how he talks about things and how he talks about his kids, how he talks about you. You got to know that when you become a part of lowtusa.com and Mantality Health, this guy has a staff. Your staff is awesome. You only hire the top-notch, the best people, the most dedicated people. So you can be sure you're in a pro operation.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody here, we're on guys' teams. We're the ones to add more energy, to help them be their best. We're like a coach for them when it comes to giving them the energy and time they need to fully engage.
Well, let me tell you something. I've been planning this. This is perfect. It just so happens to have Kevin Muret and Doug Giles on at the same time. It's like unbelievable because you gotta hook up with
Doug Giles.
Doug Giles. You know who Doug Giles is?
I've heard of him, never met him.
ClashDaily.com.
Your show, your Clash Daily, other sources for news. Would you even get that kind of intel?
You remind me of Doug Giles, and let me tell you something. You think Danny Cox is a whippersnapper at the tavern or whatever it happens to be, Doug Giles and you. In fact, here's what we need to do. At some point, Doug Giles, he and I have been promising we're going to get him to St. Louis because this guy is great. He's a hunter, has Safari Cigars, has a cigar operation, and of course his website. He's going on a safari soon. He kills, things. And I don't want to get you in trouble. And he is the man, and he is the man's man. He is the one who wrote the Pussification. It's called Pussification. It's about how men have had basically their what's pulled off by society, culture, and the media, and so he's calling out the pussified in our culture right now. And so he's written that book. So if he comes in, I would guarantee you, Doug Giles, that Mantality Health would want to be part of this whole operation because this would be an absolute den of fearsome commentary.
Bro, I'm a kitty cat, man. I don't know if I can live up to those accolades. You haven't ever seen me. Like, I'm only 5'2" and I weigh like 80 pounds, and I got these big kind of nerdy glasses on. So you might be disappointed, Jamie.
Well, I don't know, man, because I know how you talk, I know how you operate, and I know what we talk about, and I know about your book, Pussification, and that's actually.
Speaking of taking a trip up to St. Louis, I'm supposed to do a little shooting with my buddy George Gardner, who built, I believe, Chris Kyle's sniper rifles before he passed. And
Wow.
Green Beret badass Brian Sykes, who's a sniper also. They've got a shop up there, GA Precision, and they want me to come and humiliate me probably and show how poorly I actually do shoot, aside from how I shoot in my head and in my writings.
Wait.
So, yeah, if we get up to Kansas City, might do a little sachet over to St. Louis and melt the town down.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd even meet you down in Kansas City. We could go back together. We could drive 100 miles an hour back together on 70 if you want to. Here's the other thing, Kevin, is that Doug Giles, his daughter, Hannah, he's got two daughters, right, Doug?
Yeah, what I know of, yeah.
Hannah is the one who blew open this whole operation that was going on through O'Keefe. Acorn. She blew it up. So this guy, because you guys have that in common, because you have some rowdy girls.
Yes.
And he talks about rowdy girls. He's written a book about it too.
Well,
Raising Rowdy
That's
Girls.
what's interesting. When men start to be men, the kids' confidence goes up, and then they start to go in lockstep, and that's what our country needs.
Right on. So
yeah, and that's what the radical feminist. I'm talking about the uber nasty Rosie O'Donut. She thinks men who would be men who live in this God-blessed testosterone fog that he and nature hardwired us to dwell in, that we're dispensable, that we're unnecessary for the betterment of of mankind and our children. And she thought her and her lesbian lover could raise their kids, better than her and a proper dad could. And you know what? Looks like her family's gone to pot, man.
yeah. I mean, we're erasing history. We're erasing some of the really important parts of our culture. We're erasing men. We're erasing dads. We're erasing testosterone.
You know what, Jamie and Kevin? If it weren't for men who would be men, there wouldn't be this grand experiment in self-governance for the radical feminists to bitch and moan about.
Well,
It was dudes who primarily established the United States. Now, I know the women were there backing up their boys and stuff, but there were those were guys that did that.
Well, let me tell you something. Even the women sometimes are surpassing the men on certain issues. I've done I have this TV show, The Allman Report, Doug, and we've been featuring this whole Confederate monument debate that's going on right here in St. Louis. So I have a large urban audience in the TV side. I have there's my phone. I have a heat phone, and people call in and comment. I must have 25 black women who call into that phone and go, this Confederate monument thing is ridiculous. I got children who are sleeping under windowsills to avoid getting shot by errant bullets. We've got issues here. I'm tired of these people, and they're the ones standing up to this non-commonsensical approach even to these Confederate monument issues.
Yep, they want to remove quote-unquote monuments of hate. Why don't they start with the mosque, the radical mosque here in the United States?
Well, at least look into it.
To me, those are the imams. The guy down University of South Florida. What town is that? You think I'd know after living in Miami for 20 years. I think it's in Tampa area.
Yeah.
The guy that Bill O'Reilly exposed. That guy was prattling on and sponsoring terrorism, being a conduit, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And then O'Reilly had the cojones to finally go after him and bust his chops. Those are people of hate. They're in mosques that are monuments of hate. If the left really wants to start on, removing these places, these citadels of animus, then I say start with the mosque.
Well, let's just at least battle on ideas and instead of edifices, and that would be even better. Just to simply,
to me, guys, I like having a track record that shows our history. Not everything's beautiful.
No.
It's the same thing that I like about Facebook. I throw up a Throwback Thursday picture of me wearing a mullet in a crushed purple, sport jacket with a magenta shirt underneath it, and the collar's outside of the jacket, and I've got a Dennis Rodman necklace starter kit, and I look like a complete dumbass. And you know what? That's a good thing, because I'll never repeat those mistakes again. And it's the same thing that I think about our track record, our history. Show it all, because we learn and we grow from every bit of it. We become a better people and nation.
You're right on, buddy. I so appreciate that. Doug Giles, when are you coming to Kansas City again?
We're trying to do August.
Okay.
So it's hot there, right?
Oh, yeah. No, it's good and hot. It's beautiful, though, because we have a lot of pools here, so don't worry about that. And we have the Coneheads, which is the business that Kevin Muret's kids run. So if you get too hot, you get ice cream. It's fine.
Free ice cream, Doug, as much as you want, buddy. Tommy.
Bro, I want like a wash tub of ice cream, like a horse trough, and I just lay in it.
Now I have a picture of you in a mullet sitting in a tub of ice cream. Now I got to work all day to get that image out of my head, Doug.
Bro, we've just caused every woman to stumble in their mind and commit the act of lust. Visualizing me sitting in ice cream with a mullet wig on. I don't know how they're gonna, they're gonna have to confess sins this weekend to their priest and pastor.
I got to get you two together. That is for sure. Hey, Doug Giles, thanks, brother.
Right on, guys. Stay rowdy.
All right, you too. At Doug_Giles, ClashDaily.com. Yeah, Kevin, there's a lot going on there, but you got to look at some of these books. And he has a book that I think is great for women, moms, and it's and dads too. But it's Raising Rowdy Girls. Yep. And then pussification, which is great.
Well, my girls, when it comes to running that Coneheads business, and eventually any business I'm involved in, my girls are the first ones I go to. My girls are sharp. They're aggressive. They've got that swagger, what it takes to do things. I'm very, very proud of my girls. And me being a strong dad, does not feel intimidated and loves having girls that are strong.
Right.
They challenge you. They challenge your thought. I love it.
Right on, Daddy-O. All right, Super Dad competition right there at lowtusa.com, a service of Mantality Health, and they will announce the winner, the Super Dad contest, appropriately on Father's Day. And, buddy, thank you so much for your support of Free Conservative Radio and your support of this show. As long as you've been supporting it, we appreciate you. It's great to see you again, Kevin Muret. And Jennifer Cobb, thank you for coming in and